Okay, after this, a couple weeks later, one day I look up and the lights is off. Just so happened, I seen a family member in the neighborhood, and I told him the lights that got turned off. He comes over and he said, hey, come on, let me show you something. Takes me out through the back door, back of the house. He cuts the lock off the electric meter. He said, watch what I'm doing. Now I'm watching, but at 15 years old, now I'm thinking like, I don't care what the hell you do, I'm not messing with no electricity. He did whatever he done, got the electric pot back on. Now here's the problem. This family member is in their 30s, okay? They know the whole situation with my sister having my money. They know my sister getting a check from me every month. They know when I was staying at her house, I paid her $200 a month rent. So why not, instead of showing me this, say, hey, I'm gonna go talk to Trisha and see if we could work it out where at least the money you was paying her in rent every month, we could take that and put it on the bills so you don't have these problems no more. Or we gonna sit down with you and teach you how to pay bills, manage money, buy groceries, so you don't have these problems. But conversations like that, it never happened. This family member ended up staying with us for days after this, okay? Now, I noticed with them, every day they would get up, leave in the morning, come back 10, 11 o'clock at night, go to sleep. So I ain't thinking nothing about it, you know? And one day they come in and they was in their room and they start yelling. And they say, MFs act like they can't see. And me and my son's mother is in our room looking at each other like, what is wrong with them? What are they talking about? We can't see. And they keep going on and on. And finally, what they was saying was we can't see that they ain't got no food to eat. Now here it is, we 15 years old, barely eating ourselves. They wasn't there when we cooked and we barely got enough for us, so we ain't even thought about saving them no food. Mind you, they're in their 30s. The next day, that family member left, which was good. Now, after this, my Uncle Artie comes from Oklahoma. Now, it ain't nothing new, because as long as I can remember, my Uncle Artie been coming down from Oklahoma for many years. My Uncle Artie is my father's youngest brother. At the time, I believe Uncle Artie was probably in his 40s. Now, he comes to the house, he stayed at the house a couple of days. So one day he comes to me, sit me down, and like, hey man, look, you, my brother's youngest son, you 15 years old, the same age as my son. I don't want to see you out here on your own like this. You ain't supposed to be going through none of this. He say, look, do you want to go back to Oklahoma with me and your cousin? And let me tell you, I felt a sign of relief just hearing this man say this. For the first time since my mother done passed, I got family that's actually concerned with my well-being. So I felt overjoyed just to hear him say this, and the thought of me getting out this situation was great. I'm about to be out of here. I told him, yeah, I will go. He said, all you gotta do, man, go to school, and you can't smoke no weed at my house. Now, the weed thing I found funny, because since he been there, he had been giving me weed to smoke. But I'm all for it. Uncle Artie leaves that day. And he didn't come back that night like he normally do. The next night, no Uncle Artie. I'm wondering what happened. I end up not seeing Uncle Artie again until I was grown. Now what happened to cause this man who was trying to look out for his nephew and take him with him, to all of a sudden, he don't even come back, not even to check on him? Well, Uncle Artie knew my sister Tricia was my guardian. So if he gonna take me to Oklahoma, that means he gotta sit with her and talk with her about getting guardianship. Now, what would be so bad about that? Him getting me out this situation. That's actually a good thing. It was good for me, but it wasn't good for her. Well, why is that? Because she ain't got no job. She still had never had one. She still was on welfare. So how's she living? She living off my checks that I'm not getting. She living good. See? Because after the incident with the water, this woman that came up with her first car. Yeah. Instead of paying the water bill, which would have been probably nothing, she went out and bought her a car. Had never had a car in life. Now she got one. And Uncle Artie, if he becomes my guardian, now she ain't got no check coming every month. Now she got to give up all the money that's in the bank accounts I'm supposed to get when I'm 18. So what she do? When she got done telling him all these negative stories about me, he didn't want to have nothing to do with me. What's so amazing about this? Years later, when I grew up, I'm at some people's house. They watching the football game on TV. And I'm over here talking with some people. But I keep hearing the television say, Artie Smith, Artie Smith. Artie Smith, that's my uncle's name. Little Artie is his son, who he took to Oklahoma with him. I look at the TV, and lo and behold, it's my cousin, Artie Smith, playing for the San Francisco 49ers. And all I'm thinking, I could have been right there with him had I got the opportunity to go with my uncle. But because of this woman and the negative story she told him, I never got that opportunity.